Welcome, welcome. Good morning, everyone. My name is Estefania, and we are here at the Miracle Mind Meetup, getting started our day together, focusing in, coming into this space of mindfulness and remembrance of who we are using the spiritual textbook called A Course in Miracles. And so if this is something that has been of interest to you or calling you, please do feel free to join us. This is an open, free meetup that we do weekly, Wednesdays. Wednesdays at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And yeah, the doors are open. We all walk together. And for anyone who feels to give at the end of this, to support this space, to support me in hosting this space, that is more than welcome, but never expected. So yeah, I just want to let that be known as well. And if you need any more information on this meetup, you can go to awakenpedia.com, which powers this space. Shout out to Awakenpedia. And then another option is also reaching out to me on socials at spiritledsteph.com. And there you can find any other services as well as one-on-one going deeper that I do as well. So welcome, welcome. Let's get started on today's topic. I just naturally feel like always this call to check in, right? Before I start, that we may always check in. It's like a continuous way of like, what is needed here? Am I in a space to receive what is being shown to me, right? The Course in Miracles is always showing us and taking us to a place where we can follow our inner guide, ultimately to reach that direct conversation with our inner guide, the Holy Spirit within us. That's the word it uses, the Holy Spirit, but we can understand that words are just symbols. And truly what we're here to do is listen to the heart, listen to that inner intuition that is guiding us back to truth, to love, to that connection with who we truly are, to that remembrance. And so something that I felt was really present on my heart since last week, actually. And I think it's a topic that may need more than one meeting, right? So we'll start it today. And I think we may want to go into it deeper because it is a very big topic in the Course in Miracles. And it is not the standard understanding of this topic. So it takes a little time to really digest what Jesus is trying to teach us through this book and in this exact theme. And that theme and subject is prayer. What is prayer? What have we been taught is prayer? How do we pray? And it's beautiful because this book takes us deeper, beyond all aspects of prayer that we thought were there, that we thought were needed to have a quote unquote conversation with God. So I thought we would go into that and just share our own experience of prayer. And if you've had anything that, that comes up, this is not only a space to go into the words and realign with the truth that is being given through these words, but also a space to be aware of what comes to surface and to bring that into the light in a safe space, in a non-judgmental space with others. We are continuously mind training, right? That's a big part of being able to fully have that connection that I was speaking about in the beginning with the internal teacher, with the Holy Spirit. We have to be very aware of what is in our mind. This is a course in healing the mind. That is the source of where all things begin. And so all things that we've made up, let me clarify, all the things that we've made up of this world, because the only beginning is God and the only end is Christ, which is our true nature. So, yeah, beautiful. Welcome, welcome, everyone. So beautiful to see your faces. And wherever you are in the world, whenever you receive this, welcome. I'm going to look for the part of the prayer and I'm going to bring it up on the screen so we can all look at it, and we can read through it as we always do together. If anybody has anything on heart that they would like to share or question or anything while I do that, please feel free to come on. Okay, let me find this here. There goes the alarm. Can you hear it?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I sat outside in my room. There was an actual, like the actual alarm was right next to where I normally am. So I just moved outside and that's the best. Okay. Where is what I chose earlier? ¿Dónde estás? Okay. Here we are. The ladder of prayer. This is a part that I think it's found in the Song of Prayer. It's pretty much the last book. Not all the Course in Miracles books have this section, but I feel it's a very, very insightful, transformative section. And every time we read it a little different because we are in a different place. And literally, that's what the ladder of prayer is explaining to us. The ladder, right? Many times when we're looking into A Course in Miracles, we can see the ego can interpret the Course as very like extreme, like, oh my God, it's beyond there. But what about here? What do I do here? Because it's got level 1, right? And level 2. And I think the ladder of prayer is a beautiful part that really hones in onto how we're on a ladder. And within the experience, even if it is a dream, as we heal, we start transforming and we start ascending the ladder to wherever we are at the level of consciousness within the dream, right? Within the experience of remembering who we are and coming back to God. And I think that that gives us some grace because we can see a lot of teachings around the Course and a lot of spaces where it's like, none of this is real. None of this, it's all an illusion. And we definitely want to be very aware of where we are and what feels really true to us and what we're still trying to expose, heal, release so that we can understand and trust, deeper trust, right? So yeah, and before we start, so this is the section of the ladder of prayer, but I put ladder into the search. You can see that, right? Yeah. And you can see that the results are interesting. So it's like the ladder of prayer, and then you can see, this is part of what we're going to read, but prayer is a ladder reaching up to heaven. So just like, that's a nice little image there. And I want you to see how it progresses. Prayer in its earlier forms is an illusion because there is no need for a ladder to reach what has never left, right? So that's at the level 1. There is no need for prayer because all is one. You're not asking for things because you are whole, right? But it's important to see the word ladder because that meets us where we are. As earlier forms of prayer, written in earlier forms of prayer at the bottom of the ladder will not be free of envy and malice. And then it comes to the ladder ends. And high has the ladder risen. And the ladder ends with this: for learning is no longer needed. And so it's interesting. I want you to see that very last one. The ladder ends with this: for learning is no longer needed. So it's sort of tying the experience that we have of learning to the need for prayer. Right? If learning's no longer needed, then prayer is no longer needed. And so, sorry, the ladder of prayer is no longer needed because we reached the top. And so that shows that learning is that aspect of the course that's meeting us where we're at, right? And so, yeah, let's go into prayer. Maybe we can come on and just speak a little bit about like what prayer has been up until now in our lives. Maybe when we were little, what we thought prayer was and how we use prayer now. Before we go into this, if anyone feels to speak or share. Go ahead, Adea. It's okay.
Okay. Okay. Prayer used to be like very ceremonial. You know, I grew up in a Catholic household, so it was very much like in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And there were like specific prayers that you would learn that are very beautiful and very meaningful if you say it with the intention.
Tension.
But it was very routinely. It was very like, oh, I'm gonna do it because it's what I have to do. It's what I should do, right? I should pray at the end to be grateful. But it was kind of like a homework. Sometimes it still is. Like I still have that but but now I don't really do like the whole like kneeling. Like I will if I feel it, you know. I'll let spirit guide and I'll be like, no, I want to lay down and just talk to God. And this morning I did it and I was like crying and I was sobbing and I was just talking to God and I was like, I don't know what to pray. Like now there is no pretext. Like I don't give myself a pretext. I'm just like, say whatever you need to say. Like if you need to not cuss out, but I mean like be mad and be angry and be sad and be disappointed, like let it's part of it. It's part of my communication with God. Sometimes there's not even words. Sometimes I just sit down and I cry and I know God feels what's in my heart and I kind of just and I'm like, there's no words, God. There are no words. I'm just here and I'm present and I'm here and I just want to feel what I'm feeling. So now it's more natural. I feel it's a more natural, relaxed state. It's not it has to be like this. No, it's kind of just like however it comes and however it comes up.
Like no expectation as to how it
Exactly.
needs to look.
Exactly.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Beautiful. Sulma.
So, like Andrea, I came up originally in the Catholic. I came up in the Catholic tradition, and it used to be a lot of memorized words. A lot of them that I actually still know. People wonder, how do I still remember that at 69 years old? But anyway, I mean, word for word. But I've since learned that prayer is not about asking. It's not about asking because the truth is that we already have everything. If we use the course by example, it says that we have everything and that we are everything. So, as a student of science of mind,
Yes.
I'm a licensed practitioner. As a practitioner of science of mind, I have learned that I'm just affirming what I already know. Ernest Holmes says that the truth known is truth demonstrated. So for me, it's just affirming what I already know, what I believe to be the truth. As I'm remembering that I am everything, I'm just affirming whatever is going on. And quick example on Sunday. Something happened. I went horseback riding, came back, and it was, gentle riding. It was one of those, not even trotting. But on the way home, my right arm started feeling very heavy, and I didn't know why. The right side of my neck was an excruciating pain, and I didn't know why. My friend Debbie stayed on the phone with me the whole time coming home. When I got home, the car I could barely get out of the car. My body felt heavy, and I came in the house. I put everything down. And I went to lay down. I couldn't even take my boots off. I laid down and I started to cry. I started to cry in fear. And then I remembered. I remembered to remember, and I remember Reverend Tawana Malone, the senior minister at the center that I attend. She said, "Have faith in your faith." Have faith in your faith. And I started saying that I have faith in my faith.
Mm,
I know the truth of what I am. I am not this body, regardless of what's going on right now. I know the truth. I know the truth. I know the truth. And I kept saying, I know the truth. I know the truth. And I actually fell off to sleep. I fell off to sleep. I woke up
mm.
a couple of hours later. Nothing had changed. I had this hazy feeling. It was crazy, hazy and crazy. Um, but again, just reminding myself, I know the truth. I am not this body. I am free. I am not this body. Just remembering and remembering to remember. And that's what prayer is. It's an affirmation. It's for me today. It's an affirmation. And Ernest Holmes says to make your life a prayer. Make your life a prayer. So it's not something that, I wake up in the morning and do and then go to bed at night and do. It's throughout the day, just remembering to remember to affirm the truth of what I am. I'm complete.
Thank you, Sulma. Yes, so beautiful, beautiful that, you can see just you know, how much we've transitioned and we've evolved from how we learned to practice prayer in our homes or in churches, right? However, we grew up with our parents, maybe before a meal, before going to sleep, right? Like these specific moments, like Andrea and you were talking, and what it's turned into now because of your experience and because of what the path that you're walking and the things that you are becoming more and more revealed and feel true. And so a lot of this is leading us to these lessons that and these teachings that Jesus is talking about in the Course in Miracles. So let's go ahead and read. If anybody else has something they want to say about their experience on prayer from childhood up until now, and how it's evolved. But so feel free to come on. But if not, then we can go ahead into the
Good
reading.
morning.
Good morning, Isabel.
How are you? Beautiful
Welcome.
listening to all of you guys connecting here for a moment. Well, my story, my experience with prayer, it is evolving from repeating, from listening, from memorizing, from
Mm,
from joining other prayers, from from following the guidance of prayer chaplaincy, from trying to have the words, from trying to use the divine words, from the worries of I'm doing it right or doing it wrong when I'm praying with someone, then from finally just surrendering and just allowing my mind. I used to practice, I used to listen to other videos and see how other people pray, this and that, before I used to do my calls, because as chaplains, we call every month to a group of people that subscribe for prayers.
that's
And
right.
yes,
You-
so and the prayers
mhm.
are for healing, most of them, for healing, for financial freedom, for the majority, peace. So it's been lately. It's like I surrender. So just my connection is with. Let me open the channel, so you God guide me through your words, guide me through your light, connect me with what the spirit of the other person is really wanting to see, wanting to know, wanting to clarify, and the words will come. I allow you to talk to guide, to guide her through me. Talk to me. I open the channel to be the vessel for this person I'm connecting with. So by trusting has helped me to just surrender and still, allowing the words and allowing the feeling and the connection to guide us into ways and I could say the spirit, the soul and the feelings flow by themselves. I don't need to worry what to say,
Mhm.
what not to say. And the moment that we connect, by itself flows. It flows nice and beautiful than me. At the end, I'm amazed. It's like,
Mhm.
in the world. I said those things. And they themselves too, oh my God, Isabel, thank you so much. I feel much better. Oh, this big bag in my back is like I just, put it on the floor and like, it was so heavy. And yeah, I think we have this power. The moment that we surrender and allow the spirit to come to us and talk to the other person or with us, just opening this vessel and trusting. In the silence,
Beautiful.
to listen, sometimes just to listen. I say, God, just let me be in this moment with you. Open my heart, and in the silence, there is a message here. I still don't understand what it is, but it has a message. This tough situation that I just went through is something telling me that I still don't know. Let me open my heart and leave yourself for 3 or 4, 5 minutes, whatever minutes, just to listen. And something will
Yeah.
come. Something will come out. Thank you so much. Letting me speak.
It's so beautiful to hear you speak and have that little image of the angel who looks like who's praying, who's in a prayer pose.
Yeah.
what a beautiful representation
Yeah.
of just, that space that we enter when we are in true prayer. So beautiful, beautiful. I love to hear all of this. And I think it's perfect. We can, if anybody else wants to say anything, if not, we can go ahead and read what Jesus is saying about prayer, specifically in the section of the ladder of prayer. And I believe it is important to distinguish this, to learn about this ladder and what the ladder means. Here we go. The ladder of prayer. Going to these moments where we talk about, prayer being a moment where we join with another, or in the morning, or when we're eating, or at the end of the night. It seems to be something that is in a specific window of time, right? But going back to what Sulma was saying about prayer, letting your life be a prayer. Let's see what Jesus and the Holy Spirit are trying to tell us through these words. So who would like to read first? And we'll go doing paragraphs together. Oh, actually, I need to share it. I just realized I'm looking at it. 1 second. Because sometimes I'm sharing the words and I forget that we're talking, and then all you see is the words in the video. So I have to be aware of switching it back and forth. Okay.
Let me pray. Let me start.
You would like to start? Go ahead, Isabel.
Yes.
Thank you.
Prayer has no beginning and no end. It is a part of life, but it does change in form and grow with learning until it reaches its formless state and fuses into total communication with God. In its asking form, it need not, and often does not, make appeal to God, or even involve belief in Him. At these levels, prayer is merely wanting out of a sense of scarcity and lack.
Okay, let's stop there, because it's saying a lot there, right?
Yeah.
Prayer has no beginning and no end. Let's start there. He's saying, Suma was saying, let your life be a prayer, right? And that's really what we want it to be. But Jesus is saying your life you are continuously praying at all times. Prayer has no beginning and no end. There is no point where you are not praying. And we can see that almost like there is no point that you are not calling in what you are believing, right? Or what you are desiring, truly desiring in any given moment. There is no point that that's not happening. It's a part of life. But it does change in form, in other words, the way we do it, and grows with learning until it reaches a formless state. We no longer have to do it a certain way because it fuses into total communication with God. In its asking form, so when prayer is an asking form, it need not, and many times it doesn't need to make an appeal to God. In other words, what I hear here, and if anybody else wants to add, of course, please do, is you don't really need to believe in God. Prayer is not only something that you do to God, right? Many times it doesn't involve an appeal to God or a belief in Him. At these levels, prayer is merely wanting the things that you want out of a sense of scarcity or lack. You're always exuding the things that you want because you believe you don't have them, because you from a place of not feeling whole. And we all know this, right? We recognize what it is to come, right? Like, I'd love to have this, or, I don't have this in my life. This part is, I'm not happy here, or I need this to make me happy. These kind of underlying feelings that we can get many times. All right, let's read the second one. Number 2. Who would like to read number 2?
Before we move to number 2, as also in church, we chant, our thoughts are prayers. And I think it also implies the thoughts that are in the conscious, in the conscious when we are awake, as that's the 5% of the time, and the 95% of the time we are in the unconscious. And how beautiful to be also praying for the unconsciousness when they comes little by little to the to the awareness when we wake up those thoughts, because they also need purification, as many of them are in the memories from the past with so many, I would say, also in between the drama, the pain, the shame, the guilt, the good stuff, the bad stuff, but are held the memories in our body, in our thoughts. And many of them need purification. But it's beautiful when I hear you guys say, that let's make our life a prayer. I think it was Sulma. Our thoughts are prayers, our life a prayer. The other day we were doing our gratitude. Let's make of our gratitude our prayer. I was like, ooh, but it's so beautiful to think that our life, our prayers, like every day is a prayer. Oh my God, it is like infuses in a spirituality. It brings like more awareness of like doing things mindful of how are we affecting other people, how our thoughts, is affecting other people as well, even if they don't see us. So our thoughts of love, our thoughts of peace, it is affecting the world. It is affecting, I say, in a good sense, it's touching them. So thank you for that. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yes.
So powerful today with you guys.
I love that you said that, Isabel, because really it does give this it transports you when you see prayer as the way of life, that it's something that is never ceasing, that we are praying without ceasing. It's going to come up in a part. Then it's like your life is a devotion. It either is a devotion, a conscious devotion, or an unconscious devotion. You're devoted to something no matter what. And this is what we're getting to. No matter what, you are devoting your mind and your energy to something, consciously or unconsciously. And so that is like and then having that awareness makes it like, wow, okay, so I want to be truly devotional. Like if I'm always in prayer, even when I don't know I'm in prayer because I had these ideas, then wow, that sort of expands me like into like all of this is part of my prayer. Every encounter, every thought that I'm having. That's why the mind training is such a huge part of the Course in Miracles. Because like you said, thoughts are what we're praying, right? Our thoughts, our mind, it always comes back to the mind. And even things that we don't think that we're thinking consciously, we're tapping into them because it's one mind that's being tapped into. And so that is, like you said, beautiful. The purification. And Suma just wrote in the text, yes, the habit of engaging with God, like a consistent habit. And that's that devotion.
Ooh, yes.
It feels like it goes straight to the heart.
Nice.
I love it.
Good.
All right, so let's keep reading.
Let's keep reading. Mine. That was actually from the course. That was from the course. I wish I could say that was mine, but it's.
Oh well, there you go. You just shared the line. Well, there you go. I wonder if it's coming up on what we're reading.
No, the course. It's early on in the course. It says the habit of engaging with God is easy if we actively refuse to not let our mind slip away. So the problem is that we don't think that we or others are actually worth it, but that's what it says. The habit of engaging with God is easy if we actively refuse, that's the key word, actively refuse to let our mind slip away, which coincides with that about the sleep of forgetfulness is the unwillingness to remember. But yeah, anyway, okay. But yeah.
Yes, beautiful. And that's that invitation that we're given the whole time. about vigilance, right? Vigilance for God. Like it's this like intentional thing. As we are vigilant, everything else falls away. But when we're not intentional about this vigilance, and he's inviting us always to be vigilant for God. So, okay, beautiful. Let's keep going so we can go deeper into this topic. Who would like to read the next number 2? We know Suma can't because she's driving.
I'll go ahead.
Okay, beautiful, Mike.
These forms of prayer, or asking out of need, always involve feelings of weakness and inadequacy, and could never be made by a son of God who knows who he is. No one, then, who is sure of his identity could pray in these forms. It is also true that no one who is uncertain of his identity can avoid praying in this way, and prayer is as continual as life. Everyone prays without ceasing. Ask and you have received, for you have established what it is you want.
Yeah. And let's remember here, you have established what it is you want. This entire experience that we're having has come from a desire in us, a wanting to have, for our will to be separate from God's. That is what has been given, right? That is what in the sense that the mind has provided it at a sleeping state, asking you have received, for you have established what it is you want. Everyone prays without ceasing, and prayer is as continual as life. Prayer is as continual as life, right? We actually can't stop ourselves from praying. We can only become aware of what it is that we are putting out there, where it is, like going back to what Suma said, where we're being actively intentional to create that habit. No one who is sure of his identity could pray in these forms of weakness and inadequacy. Yet, so beautiful, yet it is also true that no one who is uncertain of his identity could avoid praying in this way, right? If it's where you're at, it's where you're at. And I think that this is also very beautiful to talk about, right? How we also must give ourselves grace and give grace to others and where they are, because this is not just prayer, like I said, with a form, right? We have to release that forms of prayer and really see it as a way of life. Everyone is praying without ceasing. We're talking about a way of life here. The way we live is a prayer. And that comes from our thoughts. That comes from what is unconscious within us. And the whole experience is coming from the one very, very original idea of believing we could be separate from God. So beautiful. All right, who would like to read number 3?
Number
read.
3. Okay, great.
Go ahead, Isabel. No, go ahead.
Go ahead. I haven't. I can go next after.
I didn't, no te entendí, perdón.
Okay, no, you go ahead and do 3 and she'll do 4.
Okay, perfect. Okay. It is also possible to reach a higher form of asking out of need, for in this world, prayer is reparative, and so it must entail levels of learning. Here, the asking may be addressed to God in honest belief, though not yet with understanding. A vague and usually unstable sense of identification has generally been reached, but tends to be blurred by a deep-rooted sense of sin. It is possible at this level to continue to ask for things of this world in various forms. And it is also possible to ask for gifts such as honesty or goodness, and particularly for forgiveness for the many sources of guilt that inevitably underlie any prayer of need. Without guilt, there is no scarcity. The sinless have no needs.
How beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because we don't normally tie this logic, right? Like, what does being sinless have to do with like wanting something? like sin this, or what is being the opposite. What does being sinful have to do with wanting?
Right.
But if we go back to this idea of what sin, what sin is here in the Course in Miracles and what it's teaching us about sin, really, sin is really first and foremost an illusion, but it's an adjustment about how we see ourselves, right? It is a belief about something that could have and so, it's okay. It's a belief that something that could have never happened, which is right. So that's why we say awakening to a dream, because only a dream is something that we think happens, but it doesn't actually happen, right? And when I looked up and shared the meaning of the word sin, that if you looked, I know you saw the video,
Yes.
Even in the Bible, right, the original meanings in Hebrew and Greek, which were the two forms that were most disseminated in those early years, coming from Aramaic, the translations, those two words of sin mean missing the mark, right? Failing to reach the target. And not a sense of identity or condemnation in any way. Literally just like there is a mark, right? And now we're understanding it's God, it's us, it's the true self. But the way we're going about it is missing the mark. We're not understanding how to get to the target. And that target is the only thing that is truly, quote unquote, feels like it's missing. And yet we find other targets in our lives, right? The partner, the career, the healing of the body, the success.
Yeah, I found it very interesting. I like that the book, though, also it also reminds us that it is okay to ask for those things as well, because that's where we're at, right? It's not, it's beautiful because it's like, yes, I guess it is missing the mark, or it is in the first or second level or I don't remember. The first level God and the second level is ego in the book.
That's right.
Okay.
The first level. Oneness.
So even if you ask from the second level of ego, like, do not blame yourself. Like, do not feel guilty because you are there, because that's the whole point, right? It's accepting where you are, even if it's not, quote unquote, ideal. Like it's okay. Like, no pasa nada. O sea, be graceful with yourself, because we're learning. We're all in different processes. We're all in different levels. Nothing is better or worse, but it's like, be honest and earnest about what you need in this moment. So if you need God to help you, I don't know, forgive the same mistake 1,000 times, and you've asked for 1,000 times, like, God, please help me to forgive, because I hate when I think about this person and I still get so mad and pissed off. And it's like, okay, so I guess you're gonna continue being pissed off, but don't. I guess the invitation is, don't allow yourself to feel guilty for continuing, right, to quote unquote miss the mark, I guess, because at least we're conscious and we're making an earnest willingness effort to realize, I guess, our mistakes, right? So yeah, that's what I got out of it.
Yeah, and I love how you said mistakes, because it's not it's just errors for correction, right? It's just like a recalibration of basically we've been misperceiving. It's a misperception of who we are and therefore what it is we need. But as we live life, ultimately, the Course is here to liberate us from guilt, not to bring more guilt. And the thing that can happen is that as we go deeper into the Course, we get more guilt.
Yeah.
Because we have this comparison, this high comparison of where, like, I should be and where I am. And that's the should, and literally the Course is saying where you are is okay. You are, and you have access to God now. The moment is now. It is in this moment. It is not in the past, and it is not in the future. And so it takes a lot of willingness. And I love that you bring that up, because it does. And we have to remember, hold on, the whole point. If I'm feeling guilty, then I've misperceived something here.
Right. Right, exactly. And yeah, and just like last comment, I think it's like right, it's coming as you are. Like God, there is no ideal version. There is no, oh, I'm gonna pray when I feel good, when I can be grateful. No, pray when you're vuelta nada, when you're in the ruins, when it's God desires us to seek him at all times, no matter how that shows up. Like it's not in the form, it's in the intention, right? And I think that
Mm.
that's like it's a beautiful invitation because it's like he doesn't care. Like we're his son, regardless of whether we want to believe or whether we feel merecedoras, whether we feel that we deserve it or not.
Deserving.
Yeah, like just use it as a practice to be like I did it yesterday. For example, like I was writing my journal and I went through something hard, and before I would have like, been like whipping my back, like metaphorically, like why did I do this again? And it's like, and it's an invitation to be like, God, I'm feeling so angry and so disappointed and so mad at myself, but I want to go, like it's like now I want to go through it with him. I'm like, God, okay, I'm here, I'm going through this. I want to do it differently this time. Like how can I do it differently? Like what what do you want me to do? How do you want me to express myself? Do you just want me to cry and contemplate or write down or seek? And I think it's just an invitation to do things differently. If things haven't worked out your way, well, obviously, let's try a different way, right? Let's be open to be humble, to be open, to to not worry how that looks, how other people perceive, how you think it should be. Just live life, even though it hurts and it's hurtful. Like be here, be present, like choose to be alive, choose to live it and feel it and go through it. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's it. Beautiful. Let's keep reading. Let's keep going. I'm going to share it again here. We read number 3, right? Yes. So let's go to number 4. I think Isabel was up.
Yes. At this level also comes that curious contradiction in terms known as praying for one's enemies. The contradiction lies not in the actual words, but rather in the way in which they are usually interpreted. While you believe you have enemies, you have limited prayer to the laws of this world, and have also limited your ability to receive and to accept to the same narrow margins. And yet, if you have enemies, you have need of prayer, and great need too. What does the prayer phrase really mean? Pray for yourself, that you may not seek to imprison Christ and thereby lose the recognition of your own identity. Be traitor to no one, and you will be treacherous to yourself.
Treacherous. Treacherous. Thank you.
Oh, I love this passage. Pray for yourself that you may not seek to imprison Christ by lose the recognition of your own identity. I think that you may not seek to imprison your sister, your brother, that you may not seek to imprison those people that you're calling your enemies are now your enemies, are part of you, right? Are someone that you are also like, it's a facet, something that you have put a wall there. But in reality, when you bring that wall down, it's your image, it's your mirror of you. It's my own identity, as it says. So be traitor to no one, because I'm going to be a traitor to myself in that sense. So in reality, there is no enemy. The enemy is in my mind, right? There's no such a thing as an enemy. And because if we think that somebody is our enemy, the moment that we take that veil out of our minds and we see it from a different perspective, the miracle happens. The miracle starts right there to feel different. And that moment or a little later, you will get a call, the person comes and shows up in a different way. It has happened to me several times. The other day I was on a trip, and we had some difference with my girlfriend, and then she said, I think I should rather be in Miami. I think I should rather be alone. And I go like, actually, yeah, probably. Me too. I was dysregulating, and we were dysregulating ourselves. Say, okay, no problem. I make a call to the airline and you can, book for tonight instead of tomorrow. I can change the flight. She went to a shower and I went on my computer, and start looking. So the next flight's 11 p.m. for the same day, the same early morning. So just the whole day. And was, do I book it? It's just a matter of just saying, choose the seats and that's it. But I just waited. I said, well, let me just breathe and wait until after breakfast. And then I know just not gonna do anything right now because it's like acting on my,
Mm-hmm.
temporary feeling, something permanent. So when she came out of the shower, she said, I feel bad about it. I think you need to apologize to each other. And I opened my arms. She asked me, are you sure you haven't done any changes in her place? I said, no, not yet. But I said, 11:50 p.m., we can go if you want to. But it happened right after I said, no, I'm not gonna do anything. I know it's an impulse to do it, but just let me hold on. And listen, 30 seconds after she came out and said, hey, I feel bad. I will think we need to apologize. Yes. Yeah, otherwise it's like, oh no, I already changed it. Don't you worry. Get out of here. It makes things worse. And then later we want to be regretting. And then how do I apologize? Because it has happened. When sometimes we do something like that, and later the only thing that brings peace back to me is when I have to go and say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, recognize my part. And it takes courage because it's a lot of energy right there that I need. That a lot of like I need to focus, leave everything outside and go here and see, oh yeah, I think I did wrong. Oh my God, this doesn't feel good. The only way to feel better again is like, when you go like, see my part without expecting the other person to apologize or not, to accept it or not. But then if we are too busy, because sometimes we have to make a call, we need to do things. It's like no way. The next day comes and the next day comes and passes, and then we don't get time to think and reflect that, hey, we need to clean that street.
Mm.
We cannot have this slot between you and I like that. And the you and I is at the end is myself. So I'm the vessel and the one that contains that, that energy. So it's the faster, the better to liberate us of this imprisonment.
Yeah, I love that share because what I heard is your willingness to not act on impulse, your willingness to sit back, right? Because the thing is that when we allow impulse, if we're making a decision that is not coming from a place of peace, something in you said, wait. And that wait is like, wait until peace comes. Wait, do not make, you knew not to press purchase something in you. And at the same time, remember the mind is one. That's what Jesus is teaching us. And when we shift in our mind, many times it will be reflected in the mind, and your partner has the access to the same mind. We're all seemingly fragmented, pieces and perceptions of one mind that's fallen asleep. So when one of it lights up, makes a choice, we don't see the effect of the miracle, right? And who it reaches and how it goes, but immediately she came out and reflected, became a witness to a new choice that you made in mind, which was, let's join. It was a call to join. And sometimes that's actually what's happening in those really uncomfortable moments. What's really happening is it's a call to join. It's a call to communicate deeper with our brother. And yet we want to escape because it's uncomfortable, because we're in our ego, because and Jesus is saying, yeah, let's use this moment. Let's translate it. Let's transform it. This is exactly what it is. The reason why you're frustrated or you want to leave is because something is coming to surface, right? Darkness, whatever it is from the unconscious is coming to surface because the other person is triggering that within us at some level. And either we decide to look at it and be real and see if we can begin to make a space of non-judgment with each other. And no, I'm speaking from my ego. Let me let it out. This is not to you. I just want to let these thoughts out. The thoughts are not true. Right. And that's something I've learned over time in certain groups to be able to have. And I hope you know that this group is a space to do that too, that we can speak up the lies. We can speak up the crap and vomit it out. Because if we know that ultimately the ego is the illusion, right, is the ultimate lie or whatever you want to call it, false truth, then we can also come to know, okay, so anything that comes from this illusion is also an illusion, right? Illusion bears illusion. So we give it the space to come out and to dissolve and to release it. And honestly, that's where miracles are, many times when we are able to sit in that discomfort and then begin to look at it from what we truly are, from the perspective that we truly are, and say, oh, she's not coming to me personally. No, she's trying to battle my ego, which is absolutely her ego. And they're just having a conversation, but our true selves haven't even spoken yet.
And the good thing is that after that, we communicated and said, hey, but you asked me this even before, that you wish you were in Miami. So when she was starting to dysregulate, and then you mentioned it now in the heat of the moment. So that's why I went. And she goes like, but it's going to happen again. It may happen again. I may ask you this. I may tell you that. But then a few moments after I took a shower, I go out for a walk, or after I drink some tea, or after I go and pray something, it's going to change. It's going to change because that's not what I really mean. I go like, you're right. Me too, but will you allow me to force you out too? Because that's what I did. I said, fuck you. And then she's like, yeah, it's fine. Tell me. I'd rather you do that, but don't take action. I'd rather you do that. I said,
so imagine.
I never cursed at you. And I said, this time I was like, bitch, you fuck you too. But I felt good after I let it out, Even when she was in the shower, I was like, bitching. But I was like, no, I need this out because it's in me. I was holding, repressed, not to say any bad word, nothing. I was repressing. I said, I just allow myself. And she's in the shower. She's like, what? What did you say? I said, fuck you. I said, fuck you. And she said, you said that to me, but it's so cute. It's so cute, Isabel, when you say that. I was not cute too. It was like I was allowing myself to.
And that's funny what you're saying, Isabel, but that's going back to what Andrea was saying, right? Like to actually be truthful to what's here and give ourselves the grace. Because in that moment, you could have been like, no, I don't curse. I feel guilty if I'm that mad and I'm cursing, then I'm a bad person. Or, all those thoughts that come up that we were taught about all these things. And actually, no, you need to move through it. The idea and the importance is, of course, to understand that we have safe spaces to move through these things. But we do absolutely. And a journal or a space by yourself can be a place to move through it because Jesus is always ever present if you're willing to bring him in, right? That presence of the Spirit is always ready to give you the translation to what you're looking at. But for us to reach it and to get it, we have to release it. We have to be able to come to a space of.
And at the moment I was witnessing. I said, oh my God, I'm upset. And I'm cursing at her and I'm letting it out. So I'm not feeling the victim. I'm just feeling myself. I felt myself witnessing what was coming,
Beautiful.
And I was like, but I know this doesn't hurt her. When she listens, when she does it, we just listen and she feels good because she lets things go up like that. And me, I'm more calm, I'm repressing it. And I said, time I'm gonna witness myself saying, what happens? Say, yes, I'm gonna stop on you like a cockroach and I'm gonna do like this. And then I laugh myself. I'm sorry.
No, this is great. This makes me think of my daughter, and I want to share very quick moment things because kids are always teaching us, always. And the less filtered they are, they become more filtered through life. But as the less filtered they are from the beginning, there are moments where my child has her big emotions or whatever, and she feels like this and that, and it's in the mother role and in the unconscious to want to fix our children, to want to make things better for them, to want to do, as soon as they feel off, it's like, well, what can I do? You're fine. Or as soon as they fall, let's say something that they didn't even do, right? They fell and they scraped their knee and now they're crying because it hurts. And then, someone comes and say, no, you're fine. You're fine. Don't worry about it. Everything's okay. You didn't feel any pain. That's not real, like, and so we don't validate the feeling that's truly there. Not because we make it real, but just because we allow it to be. And I think that's the difference. And she, at one point, told me one day when I was worried because maybe, I don't know, she was maybe very sad about something. It wasn't about scraping her knee. And because I've practiced this many times or tried to be more aware of like, yeah, this is what she's feeling and beautiful. But maybe it was a friend or something particular that I got worried about it or I reacted to it. And she looked at me and said, no, and I told her, I'm just feeling overwhelmed because of how you feel. And I'm trying to see how I can fix it. I don't remember the exact words, but ultimately this is what she said. You know what she said to me? She said, Mom, you don't have to care about it. Like, I told her, I see that you're feeling like this and it makes me feel like this. And she said, but you don't have to care about it. Like, just let me say what I feel. But that doesn't have to, like, basically saying that's not your problem, Mom. That's not what you have to worry about. And as soon as she said, I'm like, you're right. Like, I don't have to care about it to the point where it changes me. Not that I don't have to care about it and not make space for her, but she was saying, like, you're caring too much and now it's affecting you, which is now affecting me again. now we're all in this like, and I was just trying to tell you how I feel. That's it. That's all I was trying to do. And she must have been like 5. And I'm like, I looked at her and I was like, you're absolutely right. She's like, yeah, just let me say it. Don't care about it. And I was like, wow. And if we could do this for so many relationships, okay, this person just wants to say this. I don't need to care about it. I don't need to take it personal. How many things would be dissolved in the moment? So yeah, I know we took a little stray off of prayer, but ultimately not all of, actually, I'll take that back. This is all part of the prayer because this is all part of life, and prayer is forever. It's forever ongoing, never ceases. We are always praying. We are praying when we are interacting with our brothers. We are praying when we have our thoughts in our mind, when we're doing whatever it is we're doing. If we're in this life, we are in active prayer. The question, are we aware of what we're praying? Are we being intentional? Are we refocusing, aligning with the truth of who we are so that would be our true prayer? Or are we allowing a different prayer to come in and sort of replace, right? The egoic prayer, which ultimately creates more illusion. Nothing that is true in truth, but will seem to affect us if we allow it to. So, Suma, I think you wanted to say something, please.
I was laughing. I was laughing at because my mother did it. I did that to my mother. Mommy, I just wanted. My mother said to me, "Si no quiere que hable, no me digas nada." She said, "If you don't want me to talk, then don't you talk to me." But it was one of those moments. I just I never forget it. I'll never forget that. But that's what we do, and it comes back to there are 2 kinds of business: my business and none of my business. Sometimes we just need to just listen. We don't have to try to fix anything because there's really nothing to fix. It's interesting the wisdom that comes from the youth. And at that time, I was in my youth. Well, not that young, but it was coming. The wisdom that I had since learned. Just listen. Just listen. And sometimes I have to say, okay, don't judge, don't judge, don't judge.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, because what I'm hearing is like, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to. But that's being honest. That's being real. That's being real. But the fact that today I can say, all right, don't judge. Don't judge. That's just your opinion. It's just your opinion that you're thinking. The fact that I can do that today, where once upon a time it was like, no, I was right and they were wrong and I had an answer and they should listen to me. And that's the growth. That's the growth. And as you mentioned earlier, the Course reminds us that mistakes are for correction and nothing more. You make a mistake, you correct it. You make a mistake, you correct it. Make the same mistake and correct it again until it gets to the point where you get so tired of correcting it that you don't even make the mistake. It comes to that place where you keep on working at it and you keep on working at it. And that's what making life a prayer really is. This is wonderful.
Mm.
I'm getting ready to go offline. I'm complete though.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. Beautiful. Yeah, let's keep reading just a little more. I know that we're already we've already reached the hour, but we can take it just a little more here. And I think before we do, going back to what Suma was saying, like the moment we take anything personal and the moment we judge, because you were saying, yeah, do not judge, right? Do not judge. And it's this honest commitment in the moment as you're hearing someone share. We can only judge based on our past. That's where judgment comes from. The only reason we have any information in our mind about how something should look like is because a past experience is now giving the information in this present moment towards something. And the invitation is always, do not judge, is allow this moment to be what it is. And from that moment, the miracle arises because we are seeing the Christ, or at least we're allowing the Christ to be seen because we're giving a space of non-judgment. Right? And in that space, we allow spirit to speak. We allow the truth to rise. If something is needed, it will be given. If not, just silence and listening is all that is needed. If anything, you can take it as an opportunity to look at your own mind, right? Wow, look at all these thoughts. This person's talking and look at me thinking of this and remembering that boyfriend that did that to me. Like notice where it takes you, because that is the real practice. And emptying the mind, like that is gone. That is gone. There is no need for that now. Judgment only comes from the past. That's why we say that the ego is the past. And the only way to free ourselves into the present moment and really access what the Course is calling the holy instant is when we release judgment in the present moment. When we truly see another, which automatically is ourself, as we are. And then see what comes from that. Like almost like an open playing field. Have fun. See what comes from that conversation, from that moment. Yeah. Beautiful. All right. Would anybody like to read number 5?
I can help. I can.
Okay.
Okay. An enemy is a symbol of an imprisoned Christ. And who could he be except yourself? The prayer for enemies thus becomes a prayer for your own freedom. Now it is no longer a contradiction in terms. It has become a statement of the unity of Christ and a recognition of his sinlessness. And now it has become holy, for it acknowledges the Son of God as he was created.
Okay.
Very nice. The prayer for enemies thus becomes a prayer for your own freedom. It's no longer a contradiction in terms.
Yeah. An enemy, the very first line, right? An enemy is the symbol of an imprisoned Christ. And that needs to be released. At the end, we're just praying for your own freedom. Yeah. Beautiful.
That means we consider ourselves to be victims.
Mm-hmm.
My life,
And wouldn't
you control my life. If you apologize, then I can be happy. It's, you control my life.
That's the imprisonment.
An imprisoned Christ, wouldn't that be an imprisoned Savior?
Mm-hmm. That's it.
We're imprisoning our Savior? Wow. An imprisoned Savior. You can save me, but I won't let you because I have you in prison.
Right? And if we look back at this situation that Isabel had with her girlfriend, look at that, right? In that moment, they both became imprisoned Christs towards each other because of what was in mind, not because of the truth of who they are. We know that that's never touched, but in mind, they themselves were in prison because the other, like Mike was saying, now what you say, what you react, your apology is what is keeping me from being happy or from being at peace. And what can truly give you the peace is seeing them for who they are, releasing them from all the things that you just thought that they were, all the things that you thought and you took personal, because we know that they're not speaking from the truth of who they are. And therefore there is no truth. Ultimately, we make it truth when we take it personal, when we take it on, right? We make it a false truth. And then we lead from there, from imprisoned to imprisoned, right? And the moment you release that, and it doesn't mean, sometimes it's not like you immediately say, well, I forgive you, or I understand. It's just like, it's something as simple as Isabel releasing the finger from the computer, right? There was an act of surrender there. Yeah. You could have made the decision, or you releasing the finger and saying, I'm going to wait, and I'm just going to let peace take over this and see what is coming. And that might not be intentional words, but there was inside of you, there was a shift, and you followed that shift, no matter how small it was, and it allowed for the rest to be.
Yeah, because I think I believe now in clarifying and verifying. There's sometimes the same thing we do in business. Verify, clarify, don't make a mistake. So I was like, I should wait and ask, are you sure? Are you sure you want to go to Miami today instead of tomorrow? After all these days that we had so much fun, all of a sudden this misunderstanding makes you feel like, oh, I should be rather in Miami, So I was like, let me clarify, verify. How can I ask? I start thinking, how can I ask? Is this true? Is this really? And that comes, Byron Kate, is this true? Or it's just comes, of course, in miracles. Can I see this from a different point? Can I shift in perception, the miracle? So right there comes the miracle. It shows up as in a way like, oh, this is not nice. Doesn't feel good. You should apologize. We should mend. We should come to reconcile. Don't be enemies anymore. We are good people. And it happens in any circumstance.
Yes.
In a situation where we are not aware, we forget that that we are divine souls, that we have it all, as you guys were saying. Everything is we are everything, and everything is given to us. There is no need of thoughts of scarcity. But regardless of that, we still have those thoughts of scarcity, of limitation, of needs. But the wants and desires, it's always going to be surrounding us. And I think it's part of the humanity that which we are balancing beautifully with the spirituality.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yes.
I want to add this very important aspect of A Course in Miracles, which is everything is either, in this case, any situation that is coming from egoic communication, right, which is not true communication, is a call to love. It is a call to love. And what is a call to love but a call to communication with the true self, with the true brother, with the Christ? So everything is a call to communication. When things are off, what it is a call to come closer for true intimacy. And what the ego does is actually, it does the opposite. It does the opposite of bringing you closer into true communication. And that beginning may not have been the miracle in and of itself, but it is your decision to switch it over, to hand it over, to not make the decision, to not let it be you who decides. And I think that is beautiful. And it's a very practical way of looking about. It's interesting, right? Because it looks like it feels like we're talking about this conversation and we're not talking about prayer. And yet, everything we're talking about is prayer. This is what the Course is teaching us. The way we live our lives is prayer. And like Andrea said, not to add guilt right? Like, oh shoot, now am I doing this and I'm doing, am I praying for this? No, it's like, this is here. And this is where I'm at. This is where my, if you want to call it frequency, vibration, right? This is where I'm at today. This is what I'm feeling. And the only way I can allow that to be is to bring love upon it, right? Because the more we add guilt to it, we resist it. That's actually, I think we'll read 6 and we'll close out today, and let, if anything else comes up. And then I think we're going to continue this and take this part deeper, because this is a section that has a lot of beautiful sections that we can go deeper with. So yeah, who would like to read number 6 and as the last paragraph today? If anyone feels to, yeah.
I'll go
Mike.
ahead. I'll go ahead.
Beautiful.
Go ahead. And let it never be forgotten that prayer at any level is always for yourself. If you unite with anyone in prayer, you make him part of you. The enemy is you, as is the Christ. Before it can become holy, then prayer becomes a choice. You do not choose for another. You can but choose for yourself. Pray truly for your enemies, for herein lies your own salvation. Forgive him for your sins, and you will be forgiven indeed.
Beautiful. What do you guys think right here? Pray truly, from everything we've been reading, right? Pray truly for your enemies, for herein lies your own salvation. What is that?
I love that. It's really all you. I have to jump in.
Yes.
The first sentence, prayer at any level is always for yourself. I'm not praying. What's it say in lesson 23? That there's no point in lamenting the world. There's no point in trying to change the world. It's not that thing out there, that person, that place, that situation. It's always, because those are only the effects. The cause, when I look inward, that's when I can change. That's when everything changes. Everything changes when I choose to see it differently. It's never, ever about something out there. In fact, the way I'm taught to pray, the way I've been taught to pray, as a science of mind practitioner, I don't pray for you. I pray about you. I pray for me to remember the truth about you. I'm not praying for you. I can't, just like in Catholics, I couldn't pray the people out of purgatory. I couldn't do that. That's what I was taught. But I can't pray for anybody. I'm responsible. My role is to accept the atonement for myself, not to accept it for you. I'm not trying to change you. I'm not trying to get you to see it differently. It's for me to see it differently. And when I see it differently, that's when I like what it says here. I'm the enemy and I'm also the Christ. I'm the enemy and I'm the Savior. It's really all coming from me. I'm complete. That was beautiful. That's a beautiful paragraph. Thank you.
Yes. Amen. What a beautiful way to end this section and this moment on prayer, what prayer truly is. Jesus is really expanding our heart and our mind upon the idea of prayer. We're just walking prayers. That's what we are. And we're walking each other home. Right? Like Ram Dass says.
Oh, it was a prayerful, beautiful session with you, Stephanie. Praying and uplifting each other. Where there is no judgment, only support, only love. This is the space in between everything outside. This is a space that we did, this window for us, and then comes next. So with this preparation, I trust.
Beautiful, Isabel. Yes, I love that you said that, because look, this is a space, right? It seems like a window, but this feeling, this openness in the mind, this openness in the heart, right? This alignment that we feel when we're here, the whole purpose is to carry it with us, because we are the fountain. We are the walking prayer, right? So literally in everything we encounter, we are emanating all that is our experience. And most of it, this world is the building of the past, right? The script is written. This is all the past, and it's sort of like a replay. The ego says, and so if we come in with a walking prayer, with an intentional, this is who I am, right? This is for me at every moment in time. I am choosing. Am I the enemy or am I the Christ? Where is my mind, right? And if I am more aware, that's the mind training. If I am more aware and more aware as I walk, as I go to the bathroom, as I talk to the person from my condominium, I don't know, anywhere, as I order food, like it's just literally, it doesn't cease. It is a continuous prayer. And may we take that prayer with us, right? We align it and we continue it and we take it and we take it and we take it. And then when we notice we're never really off in prayer, we just kind of, the prayer, like it says, prayer is continuous. So it's not that we're off, but what we are is like sort of closed our eyes, right? It's sort of like the asleep to the truth of what's here. And as soon as it's our choice to shift into that decision. Hold up. Let me awaken to this moment, to this incident, to this conversation, and remember who I am so that I can show up truly in this devotion, to listen to every call of love. And to be the bearer of that love. So, okay. If anybody else has anything in heart, if not, we can close this beautiful session and take and continue to vibrate in this prayer consciously, allowing whatever it is that's coming, whether it's tears or it's gratitude. All right, beautiful.
Thank you. No one wants to leave.
I was to leave, and I'm thinking right here.
And about to press.
I think everyone was just waiting. Let me close this here. Stop the share to your beautiful faces, and set you off on your day to bring light wherever you are. I love you all, my beautiful miracle workers. We are doing it. We are in this together.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. Beautiful session.
Love you. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Beautiful.
Andrea, bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.